Welcome to the Encore Audio Archives YouTube channel. I'm Taper Dave, and this is my channel. I've uploaded hundreds of talks here that I've recorded at meetings in West LA, and I've also recorded conventions starting in 2013. I've got a bunch of those up. And Walt and Mary Murray, the original owners of Encore Audio Archives, started the company in the 80s, and Walt recorded Joe and Charlie's and a bunch of stuff down in Vista, California. My sobriety date is June 20th of 1994. I hope you find something you like, so please like and subscribe to my channel and comment down below. If you want to hear something that I don't have or that you don't see, I'll see that I get it. Anyways, take care and have a great day if you want to.
And now, let's welcome our speaker, Danny.
My name's Danny. I'm alcoholic. Is Clancy here? Okay. I swear to God, I keep thinking I'm going to hear him say, "What's your head cold?" No. I'm just an alcoholic that's truly, truly, truly blessed. My daughter's got 9 months clean and sober. And this little girl was on her way to die, you know. And it's really funny. We think we got it so together, you know, and because when I first come out of the joint, a long time ago, 1969, I had a year clean and sober. And they put me on this, I got into this program called RIF, Recovery, Independence, and Freedom. And it was working with younger kids, you know, like 16, 17, 18 years old. And me and one of my first sponsor, Frank Russo. And I say that because he told me never to mention his name. We were working with these kids, and they were like staying clean, and they were like staying sober, and you know, you start thinking, wow, you know, I'm really something. I got all these little kids following me around, just, you know, ooh, and I remember Frank pulling me aside one day, and he said, "Hey, what is wrong with you?" I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "You're not going to a lot of meetings." I said, "Man, I've got responsibilities. These young people." And I'll never forget one of the things he said. Damn, 43 years ago. He said, "If you forget who you are, your connection will let you know." What are you talking about? And then he told me, "Look, these kids are impressed with your tattoos, and that's about it." You know what I mean? And they've got this, you know, like some of them are still clean, some of them are still sober. And I thought I had it together till like my daughter, you know. First, my son, you know, he's 24 right now. He's trying to produce a movie, and he's cut an album with his band, and it's that kind of music, you know, that hey, turn that shit down, it's too loud, that stuff. You know, but everybody you know, that's 40 and under love it, you know, and so it's like my son started using, and I wow, you know, he ran away from his mom's house, so naturally I stay here. I didn't enable him, you know. Look, you're only getting $50 a day, and that's it. You know, I don't know. An enabler, and he's using. And then I caught him using in my house. Now, you know, they've got like a 3-strike law, but when you got about 6 strikes, it's And it's not good to have somebody shooting dope in your house, you know. And I just blew it, and I grabbed my son, you know, I grabbed him by the throat. And for a split second, I turned into my dad. You know, I don't know if any of you understand what I'm saying, but for a split second, I was this other guy, and I was getting ready to say, I will break every bone in your body, kid. And I was going to put the fear of God into this kid, and I could not stand being that guy, you know, even though that guy was doing the best he could at the time with what he had. But it's like, you know, this program has gotten me better a little, and I let him go, and I ran outside, and I sat on the curb, and I just lost it. I just could not believe that I went there, and I came back in, and I said, look, yeah, I can't stop you from using, and I'm certainly not turning you away, but you can't use in this house. And he said, okay. So he started doing his thing, coming home, and he was doing that crank, you know. My son's about 5'10", and he probably weighs 120 pounds when he's healthy, you know. So shooting crank, he was about 78, you know. And you know, he's half Mexican, so all his clothes are really baggy. 22-inch waist, but 38 boxers, you know. And everything good that has happened to me has happened as a direct result of helping someone else on this program. Everything. And that's from day one. Do you understand? The first job I got working with them kids, trying to help someone else. And I was trying to get my kid, come on, go to meetings, please come on. I'm begging him, man. I'm not going to hit you. I'm not going to beat you up. I'm not going to threaten your life. I'm not going to shoot at you. No, just, you know, come on. Now, you guys are all you guys talk about is the joint, you know. And I said, you know, yet, they say yet, you know. No. I'm at a meeting, and this kid comes up to me, this kid Johnny, and this kid had so many piercings, had so much iron that he jingled. You know, he had like 4 earrings in each ear. He had his eye pierced. That's the first time I'd ever seen somebody with their eye pierced. And then he had his nose pierced. And then he had a little piercing right here with a little knife hanging down. And then he had both tits pierced. And he comes up and goes, hey, I like what you said. You be my sponsor. Hate piercings. You know? I thought, okay, I'm going to make you a Republican, whether you know it or not. All that damn iron. First time we go through the airport, see what happens. You know? And I'm taking him to meetings, and he's jingling, and we're going to meetings. And one night, I was going to speak up in Oxnard, and we were in his truck. And he's only like 22 years old, right? And he's got this truck, stupid idiot. He's got a truck this high. Just this high. Nobody over 40 can get into it, okay? It's this high. And we're riding this big damn truck, and it's ridiculous. And pull up in front of the house because we're going to get my car to take it up to, you know. And we get out and go up. I go upstairs to start showering and getting dressed. You know. Gilbert comes out, and he's been out all night, and it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, waking up. And got his 38 shorts on. There he goes. I'm showered. Him and Johnny start talking in about 20 minutes later, Gilbert comes up to my room and, hey, Dad, can I go to a meeting with Johnny? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, cool. Like my son's clean today. And that's the miracle of this program. See? Everything good that's ever happened to me has happened as a direct result of helping someone else. I wasn't a pleasant person when I got here. I didn't, there was not a prejudiced bone in my body. I hated everybody, all of you, and didn't like none of you. I went to my first meeting, bam. For you people that think you've been around here for a while, my first meeting was in 1959. And me and about 20 friends, a whole carload, we're like driving down Van Nuys Boulevard. Down Van Nuys Boulevard, and right on the corner of Van Nuys Boulevard and Lev Street. How long ago this was? This was before the 5 freeway. I should have never said that. All the girls that I just hit on all went, oh, God. Pacoima, where I live, it was like, at the time, that was like the murder capital of California. It was like unbelievable. There was big gang wars going on there. And we go by this house right on the corner, and there was like 30 cars parked out in front of this house. Now, that is an event of some sort. You know, that is something going on there. There's a party, there's a barbecue, there's a wedding, there's a bar. No. There's none, not in that neighborhood, you know. And we stopped. Wait a minute, they cannot throw an event in the murder capital of California and not invite the murderers. That's like stupid, you know what I mean? And we stopped the car, went to the trunk of the car to get the tools necessary to crash events. We got bumper jacks, tire irons, pieces of pipe, I had a case of beer, 3 bottles of wine, half pint of whiskey. I was already loaded on Red Devils and had a 38 snub nose. And we proceeded to join the event. Kicked in the front door, because you have to kick in you can't like knock. If you're crashing an event, you can't knock. Because they lock the door, call the cops. And we kicked in the front door and rushed in, and the first thing we saw was a big sign that said, "We care." We just crashed the Friday night speakers meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous, the We Care group, about 20 of us. And there's only 2 greetings you can get when you crash an event. Either everybody rushes to the opposite side of the room, that means they're willing to throw this event in your honor, or they rush to the side of the room that you're on, and that's what all them weapons are for. Either way, we're partying, and we got like the stupidest greeting in the world. We had all these people, old people, about 40, God, I hate to say it, coming in, "Hi, I'm Bob," you know. And they all had the big old brown coffee cup, the kind that if you hit somebody, it's a skull fracture. You ever see those big cups they used to have with names on them and addresses and big, and they're all, "Hi, I'm Bill," and who cares? You know, just leave me alone. And we had one rule that if you're crashing an event, you just stay in a group because they can't beat you. You got weapons, they can't beat you. You know, as long as bullets are flying out, you're like, okay. But you guys, you did that divide and conquer. I turned around to get my troops. You got them all in little groups of 4, just all over them. We get our ass kicked in here. And this guy comes up and starts talking to me. And I want to get out of here. I got this case of beer, 3 bottles of wine, half pint of whiskey. I'm already loaded on these Red Devils. I got a 38 stump. Now, let me out of here. This guy says, introduces himself. And I'm Danny. Danny, why don't you put that stuff outside and join us? This is 1959. Shut up, old man. I got penitentiaries to go to, fool. What's wrong with you? And he says, he whispered the curse of Alcoholics Anonymous. Now, this guy in 1959 tells me, "Danny, if you leave this meeting, you will die, go insane, or go to jail." Notice how quiet it got right there. That was the voodoo of Alcoholics Anonymous. You all heard it. I just cursed you. And you might forget me. And you might forget everybody in this room. But let me tell you what you're never going to forget. If you go out and you're driving and you know you drop something in the car, or we know when we're drunk, it's like, and bam, those lights go on. Watch the lights. They go, die, going, sing, go to jail, die, going, sing, go to jail, die, going, sing, go to jail. And you will be hearing that from now on. You will be watching television late at night, wasted out of your mind. And somebody on TV is going to say, die, go insane, go to jail. What? You're going to be in places like Folsom, and they say, Alcoholics Anonymous is now meeting in the Protestant chapel, and you're going to hear, die, go insane, go to jail. And you're going to think, I'm already in jail. And you're going to hear all the people that you didn't like in this meeting go, we told you, stupid. And you will hear that from now on. I heard it because I left the program. That was 1959. And I got out in 1962. And in 1962, I went back to the penitentiary, and I got out pretty close to 1965. And I got to tell you something. I met my sponsor in 1962, a guy named Johnny Harris, who was he was like the outside speaker. He was the outside secretary of this meeting in the joint, and we had a great relationship going. He was always the outside speaker. I was always the inmate secretary. You know, different institutions, it's okay though. You know. And this program, it's like it follows you. Do you understand? Once you've been here for a while, you're done. You're through. And the little things you learn, it's like unreal. Little steps you learn, man. Work the steps, work the steps. Steps don't work. You're only as sick as your secrets. We know our secrets, write them down. Yeah, put them together, show them to somebody. First, threaten their life if they tell you. And it's like, you know, I remember when my first inventory, I wrote on the back of a gas bill. On the back of a gas bill, they told me, you're only as sick as your secrets. So I wrote about 7 of my secrets. And a couple of those were not, you know, I remember Frank looking at it. 3 a.m. in the morning, behind the Allen nest on Reseda, we had a trash can burning, you know, it's 1970, and he's reading this inventory. Wow, you did that, Danny? Yeah. Did you like it? It was all right. Guess you did. You got to hear it again. Yeah. And then it's like, it was really funny because he got it and tore it up and threw it in the fire. We had a fire going in this trash can. And then he started going like this. I'm thinking, this is like some ninja stuff here. You know what I mean? And I asked him, what are you doing? He says, I'm giving all this stuff to God in the smoke. And I thought, oh, heavy. And then he said, now, if you ever take this back, you're playing God. I'll never forget that. If you take this back, you're playing God. Heavy. I'm taking more and more inventory, same smoke. My sponsee, same thing. 20 years ago, Frank, I ran into him. I said, you know what? Told him about heavy. Dan, I did that because I didn't know what else to do. Shh, don't tell anybody, it works. I don't care what you do. You're going to do everything in that book eventually. You're not going to stay. I've watched people with a whole lot of time, man, go out. I've watched a whole lot of people get introduced to themselves by their connections. You know what I mean? I've seen a whole lot of people believe in their press. And it's like, I got press. I bought a house to put it on TV. What's my house doing on TV? I can't believe it. So what? It doesn't matter. I just got here. Please just remember, this is what God's done with me. That's it. That's it. I got here, and they just told me, man, be of service. They told me pick up newcomers. They told me talk to people. Say hello to 5 newcomers every meeting. I'm still doing it. Say your prayer and pray. I know some of you, like, some of us get like really, really heavy, man. It's like, just, man, I can't. My biggest prayer to this day is still, God in all his wisdom didn't make me too wise, so if I do something stupid, it won't take him by surprise. I love that prayer. I still say that. Every morning I say that prayer. If I do something stupid, they gotta take it by surprise. And it's, my life is, the stupidest thing you can say around my house is, let's be serious. Dumbest thing you can say. Nobody, man. I just bought a house. I live with 2 other guys, and it's a pretty big house, and don't come looking for sympathy there. I don't care what happens. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, it's the heaviest place. You got a program, work it. Oh yeah. If you're new, you go to a lot of meetings. If you're new, you go to a lot of meetings. And the people that introduce themselves to you, see, because you got to remember, there's a lot of people that didn't, when I got here, a lot of people didn't run up and, hug me. Especially if you're standing in a meeting with no shirt on, you got tattoos all over your body, and you got, get near me and I'll kill you written across your face. Walk away. There's this guy, Hank. I never forget this guy, Hank Magdaleno. I didn't like him. And he wasn't from a neighborhood. He's a Mexican that isn't from a neighborhood. You're not from a gang? What's wrong with you? He would come on, hi, I'm Hank. And I'd go, yeah, well, Hank this, get away from me, man. I don't know who you are. And he would go, hey, I'm Hank. I don't care, man, leave me alone. Hey, I understand. You keep coming back because we need you. I just told this guy to screw off, and he's telling me he understands. Keep coming back. We need you. I'd go to another meeting, and he'd be there. Hey, Danny. Hey, it's me, Hank. How you doing? Why don't you screw off? I'd go to another meeting. I'd be standing in the back naturally, the killer. Psst, psst. I'd go. Every meeting I'd go to, this guy'd be there. He'd be offering me coffee or asking me, hey, I saved you a seat. I want your seat. Finally, I went to a meeting over in Hollywood. I walked in, man. I saw Hank. He didn't see me, so automatically, hey, Hank, I'd say hello. Tricked me. People that got offended, I didn't need them. Everybody seemed to just welcome. Hey, welcome, come on in. If you're new, like I said, you go to a lot of meetings. Like I said, everything good that has happened to me has happened as a direct result of helping someone else. 1985, God, I feel guilty saying 1985, I started a career. It's like, what are you talking about? I was a drug counselor, and that was my career. Before that, I was an armed robber. And and I've always been an ex-convict, and I've been in every penitentiary in the state of California, as an inmate, and then now again as a outside speaker. And in 1985, I spoke in a Cocaine's Anonymous meeting. And Cocaine's Anonymous started in like 1983, so I didn't really, it wasn't really, they had no real, they had those people that, we might have had a rehab here. They didn't have no good, blowers going, you know what I mean? And I'm sitting, I talked to this meeting, and it seemed like in this meeting, it was like a jewelry. 1985, everybody started wearing like gold chains, remember? And they had like Mr. T starter kits, like 8 chains, 4 nuggets. And I'm looking at this meeting, and everybody in this, all this gold. For an armed robber, it's like, shut up! I want it so bad. Shut up, all of you. I would have left it all outside. I would have kept it because it's grown. And then it seemed like every guy went to the gym right before this meeting, buffed up, and bought a small tank top. And so I'm there, and I'm like, these guys, they all look like people I robbed. And we're like, I'm talking, and I'm just talking, I'm in the penitentiary, and I'm in Folsom, and I'm in San Quentin, and I'm in Vacaville, and I'm in Soledad. And then I finish it, this kid comes up to me and goes, boy, I really identified with you, Dan. This kid could not have been from a neighborhood near my neighborhood. This kid could not have been in any penitentiary that I was ever in, that I'd have changed his name to something very exotic. And I gave him my phone number, and he would call me and tell me, hey, my dad just bought me a new car. Hey, my dad just got me an apartment. And then one night at 11 o'clock, he called me, and he was in tears. And he said, Danny, I have 108 days, and I think I'm going to use. Now, I had been out. I got out of the joint in 1969. This was 1985. Nobody had ever called me and said, I think I'm going to use. I got phone calls like, hey! At like 10 to 2 in the morning. Hey, I slipped. Can you pick me up? No, screw you, shit. I get those phone homie, excuse me, homie, I slipped. Shut up. I used to get those phone calls. Danny, I'm in the closet. I'm gonna have a heart attack. Shh. Be real quiet. I went by your house. They really are out there. This kid calls me up and says, I think I'm going to use. I said, come on over, come on. He said, I can't, my dad got me this job. I said, Dad again. I said, can you come hang out? And that's what we do, 11 o'clock at night. I wanted to call somebody because Johnny Carson was going on. I got the address. I went down. It was at the warehouse district in downtown. You know, we call it Dogtown's neighborhood called Dogtown. And I went down there. I thought he worked in a warehouse. It was a warehouse district. I went down there, and I thought we're going to sit outside the warehouse. We're going to drink coffee, smoke cigarettes. After break, he's going to go inside, and everybody's going to think we're gay. And it wasn't. I walked onto the movie set of a movie called Runaway Train with John Voight and Eric Roberts. I walked on, wow, it was the cutest thing I'd ever seen in my life. All these guys were dressed like convicts, and they're all like walking around like mother this and mother that. And they're acting, these guys are going, hey, is this tough? I go, yeah, you be somebody's wife in prison. Keep that up, that's great. And I kept going like that. I smeared all their tattoos. I go, oh shit, I'm sorry. All their tattoos smeared. And so this guy comes up to me and says, hey, do you want to be in this movie? And I said, what do I got to do? He says, do you want to be an extra? I said, extra what? He says, can you act like a convict? I'll give it a shot. I'm thinking it's a joke. This guy hands me a blue shirt, and I took off my shirt. And I got that big tattoo on my chest. This tattoo is not anything that says I was in the army. It doesn't say I love my mother. It doesn't say hooray for America. It says this guy was in the penitentiary. This is a homemade tattoo in the penitentiary. I'll never forget, this guy goes like this, he goes, wait! I'm trying to figure out what stupid neighborhood is that? If that was my neighborhood sign, I'd change it. You know what I mean? And this guy says, leave your shirt off. And I got my shirt off. This guy comes over and says, hey, you're Danny Trejo. I go, yeah. He says, Danny, I saw you win the lightweight and the welterweight title up at San Quentin. I go, yeah, you're Eddie Bunker. I know you. He's a writer. I go, what are you doing here, Eddie? He says, I wrote the screenplay. I adapted it. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. He says, what are you doing here? I says, I was hanging out with this kid. They're going to give me $50 for acting like a convict. He says, you know what? Are you still boxing? I go, well, I train. He says, you know what? We need somebody to train one of the actors how to box. And I said, what's it pay? You know, he says, $320 a day. I said, how bad you want this guy beat up, Holmes? Damn, I'll beat him up and make amends afterwards. You mean? I'll write about that. $320, I'll write a minute. I wasn't making $320 a week. And I started training an actor named Eric Roberts how to box for the movie Runaway Train. The director saw me and he liked the way I looked. I remember, I'll never forget, he said, contrast, contrast. And he looks at Eric and goes, ah. Then he goes to me, ah. I guess that was good to got me a job. And everybody kept yelling about, he's not SAG or something. I don't even know what he's talking about. Never been on a movie set in my life. He said, make him SAG. That minute, everybody, I went from, hey you, to Mr. Trejo, would you like some coffee? Yeah. 2 cups. Cream and sugar. And some of the little Pilati cookies. People are fixing my hair. They're fixing my hair. I got to wear makeup and didn't have to write about it in inventory. Oh, some of you have done that, huh? And I ended up boxing Eric Roberts in this movie, Runaway Train. Everything good that has ever happened to me has happened as a direct result of helping someone else. Everything. Still happening. You know, so if you're new, man, I think that's one of the things this program is all about, man. Don't tell me how good you're working the steps, man. And don't tell me how good you're praying, you know, unless you got a newcomer right next to you. Don't even bother. So I don't care. I don't care how good you work the steps. I don't care how good you pray. So I want to see newcomers. You know, I want to see people working with newcomers. See, because that's where you work the steps. And the only thing that I can promise anybody is that if you leave this program, you will die, go insane, or go to jail. Are there any questions? And don't nobody give me no 3-part questions either. Hi, Mike. How do I battle stage fright? You know what? I learned on this program, a lot of my fear about this, about anything, is my fear of looking bad. You know what I mean? And a lot of times when that fear creeps in, I will do something stupid. There, okay, I can't look no worse than that, so it's cool. You know what I mean? I'm more. And stage fright, again, it's just my fear of looking bad. And for me, it's like they paid for me to be on stage. You know, I don't. This isn't a stage. I'm in the movies. They paid for this. You know what I mean? And all you got to do is remember your lines and don't bump into the furniture. And good things come to pass. Wow, that was very programmatic, Danny.
Can you talk about an amends that really you remember that's real memorable for you? Maybe with your parents or anything like that?
It's funny, when I made amends to my dad, God, my dad passed away. He's the greatest guy in the world, man. But he was one tough. He was one of the toughest dudes I've ever met in my life. And I met some hogs, man. I met some people that could choke the life out of you with one hand. And I remember we're sitting at the dinner table, and I said, Dad, you know, I want to make some amends, you know. And he goes, what the hell are you talking about? And I said, well, you know, when I was drinking and using you, I disrespected you, and I fought you a couple times. You know? It's all right, I kicked your ass. I remember saying, Dad, I was drunk. He goes, I'll beat your ass right now. Thank God for my mom. My mom, I think he's apologized. And, you know, amends seem to happen, you know, because especially for anybody that just got out of the penitentiary, don't try to make amends to your ex-wife, okay? Leave it alone. You know? Girlfriends, don't try to make amends, you know, until you've been sober at least 3 or 4 years, because it doesn't work. You know what I mean? I came out of the joint in 1969, and the first thing I wanted to do was make amends to my wife from 1962. And I remember Frank Russo told me, Danny, you put her in a nut house. The best thing for you to do is stay away. And that was the best thing. So some amends, you have to just stay away, you know, and those I did. So, other than that, I'm not going to write Warden Fitzharris and tell him I'm sorry for burning down your penitentiary. You know, the ones that I've made are like the sincere ones, parents. You know, I have no brothers and sisters, but my parents, the best way I could make amends to them is being the person that I am. You know, my mom's 84 years old and adores me. And I don't know if anybody understands that. It's so cool to come over to your mom's and just get this hug that says, I am so proud of you, son. And it's funny because my mom didn't even think I had a job. You know, I kept it, Mom, I work with Robert De Niro. I know, mijo, but get a job, mijo. Get a job. I'm an actor. I did 3 episodes of The Young and the Restless. I walked into my mother's house. She was, oh my God, you made it. We saw you. All the neighbors came over. It was like, Mom. I was like, she's in love with me. And then the other, go ahead.
Hey, what happened to your friend Hank? What happened to Hank?
Oh, he's still around. Hank is, where is Hank? He's, I don't know. Huh? Oh, you been talking about Gene?
No, Hank, the guy used to see.
Oh no, Hank passed away. He passed away sober. He became one of my lifesavers and one of my Eskimos, you know, and a great guy, man. And I'm telling you, for a lot of, I've got some friends around here that I can always depend on. You know, I got, it doesn't matter. I don't see them for years, but every time I see, I got Nancy, I got Junebug, I got Rustum. I got people that I can just call. Hey, what's up? Let's do it. Let's just go hang out. You know? There's people that, boy, we've been through a lot, you know, and well, buried people. Go ahead, Matt. I didn't. Are you asking me if I still plan robberies every day? I walk into a bank, I look at everything. There's a couple of places I'd love to take off, but the programmer said, no, you can't. And I don't know if that's what you meant, but I was obsessed. I was an obsessed robber. I could have $4,000 in my pocket. I would rob a liquor store for 20. Thank you. I didn't hear you. One, two, and three. Start them there. You know what? It's hard because it's different with everybody you meet. It's like some people. It's like first, I've started like teaching certain people how to read. And start teaching. Well, wait, let's learn how to read. Let's figure out this stuff. This new stuff that we're going to do. Because if you've been in juvenile hall, youth authority, state penitentiary, and now you're out. My little cousin Gilbert, he's been down since he was 17. Well, he turned 17 in jail, and that was 34 years ago. He ain't been out. So when he comes out, he's going to meetings in the joint, and he's coming up for parole. So that would be like a completely different deal than, I'm not gonna give him tough love. Come on, let's go to a meeting. It's, because we all have to find it the way we find it. A lot of times, with 44 years for a newcomer, I end up a ride. That's all I am. Let's go to a meeting. And they meet somebody in a meeting. Wow, that guy, I hate it when they meet somebody that I hate. And all the way home, I got to listen to little shit rave. No, that guy's really cool. Hey, I thought, no, really. I'm just here. Man.
Can you repeat the thing that Frank Russo said to you in the beginning that you never forgot?
Yeah. God, it just slipped my mind. You put me on the spot. He said that if you start believing your own bullshit and you start lose sight of who you are, your connection will introduce you. And I'll never forget that. Yeah. It's like, pow. Okay, I got you now. So you can't listen, you can't read the headline clippings. And it's like, God, sometimes it's hard. I went to Puerto Rico. I made the front page of every paper in Puerto Rico. And I thought, wow. And I started saving oh wait. And you hear that voice. Oh, are we believing the paper clippings? I went to Russia for a birthday party. The director of Runaway Train, Andrei Kozlowski, invited me for a birthday party. They on their dime. I went to Russia and I spoke at an NA meeting. And they don't have too much time over there. And people wanted me to bless their NA medallions. Anybody got any vodka? Because it's that's that quick. That's the first thought. When somebody handed me a medallion, said, would you rub this? I said, yeah, you got vodka? And he goes, huh? But I had to snap me. Do you understand this thing? I ain't fighting against none of you. I don't, there's nobody in this program I even dislike. I'm fighting me. I'm fighting this guy. I'm fighting this thing that thinks, hey, you're pretty cool. Bullshit. I'd die, boy. When my cousin said, I'm scared, Daddy. I'm telling you, I'm scared. I said, Holmes, we got your back, bro. Don't worry, man. You come out here, we'll be going to meetings. I said, Danny, I've never even used a cell phone that hasn't been up somebody's ass. Some of you understand that. I can see the people. I disgusted some of you. I'm really sorry, but that does take place. Go ahead. Go ahead. Jerry. My buddy right there.
In your 44 years, have you thought about using, and if you have, how did you deal with it?
You know what? It's like the thought, when the thought drifts in, like sometimes I'll be like working out in the backyard, you doing something, we're gonna sweat, and I'll hear something like, Budweiser, la cerveza más fina. And you'll see the ice trickling down the side of the glass. And I start laughing. And one beer, I don't know about any of you, one beer gives me a headache. I don't know about any of you guys. One beer gives me a headache. 2, make the headache a little less. 3, take the headache away. Only problem with 3 is 4, that's a DUI. Yeah. From 4, it's all over. From 1, remember that? They say it's like, how do you say it though? It's like getting hit by a train. It's not the caboose that messes you up. It's that first initial impact. And that's that one beer. That's that one beer. And as far as like, you know, I think about, yeah, sure, I want to drink and I want to use drugs and go back to penitentiary. Let me see, shower with 50 men, sure. Okay, and try not to look, all right? Yeah. Go ahead.
Last question.
So, if you got a kid that can't write, how would you have him take inventory?
Let's teach them how to write. I mean, let's discuss it. Let's teach them how to, because we got a lot of people here that we've sent to school. You know, it's like first things first. It's like you get people sober. It's like, okay, now, I got here, I was unemployable. You know, I got here, I got here resenting anybody that was taller than 5'8". All right? So if you're taller than 5'8", it's your guts. You don't come up to me. Because I wouldn't look at you. I'd look straight ahead. I would not look up. You know, I look up, no man. And I had that. So, you know, let's talk. Let's get by your bullshit first. You know what I mean? And then let's see what we've got here. Because all we got to do right now is stay clean and sober. That's all. That's all we got to do. I'll pick you up every day, and I'll pick you up every night. I'll pick you up and we'll go to meetings. If you got a car, you pick me up, you little shit. You know what I mean? And now, I just bought a new house, so don't come over to my house. I'll put you to work. Be of service. We got to dig some trenches for sprinklers. But I've watched people learn how to write, man. I've watched people learn how to read. I've watched people get their families back together. I've watched mothers get their kids. I've watched fathers support their... I've watched miracle after miracle after miracle being on this program. 44 years of bliss. And, you know, like I got all the problems in the world. Been married 4 times, divorced 4 times. And none of them were amicable. Cost a lot of money, and that's okay. I've got 3 kids. They're all healthy. Yeah, thank God, man. They're on this program, man. Oh, so my life, I'm cool. Everything's great. I got a job coming up the 14th of this month that'll take me through the rest of the year. So if you're new, go to a lot of meetings. And I'm going to tell you something. Nobody can give you a hint of what is going to happen in your life other than it's going to get better. I could actually be like a fortune teller. I could be the Maharishi Marikech Mariachi. I could be like big salami hat, robe, shit. You come before me and say, Mr. Salami, I think I'm gonna drink. Let me tell you what's gonna happen. You're gonna lose your family, you're gonna lose your job, your parents are gonna disown you. I could go right down the line. And when all that shit happened, you'd be like, I should have listened to the salami. You guys said it. But if you come to me and say, I want to stay clean, I want to stay sober, I go, your life's going to get better. That's it. And that's all I can say. Remember, the only promise I can give anybody is that if you leave, you will die, go insane, or go to jail. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Okay, this is how I prepare my drone for launching. I like to do it inside the cab of my truck so I'm not standing outside in the weather. To install the joysticks for control, up and down, right and left, powered on. I have an Android phone that I use to connect it to the drone with. And it's actually controlled through the iPhone, through an app. Oops, wrong way. It's actually controlled through the iPhone, or through this Android phone, through the app. It's actually controlled through the Android phone, through an app, and you connect it through this short connection right here.
Remote control connected.
Remote control's connected. So I pull out the drone. I have to extend the legs. Long legs extended first, then the short legs. Remove the gimbal protector. Set that aside, then power it on one short burst, then one long burst. I lay it down. So I have to go to calibrate. So the drone's not connected yet. Shows you here as this drone gets disconnected, even though the remote's powered on. So the drone has to establish it's connected. So I go into the app to calibration mode. First I'll calibrate the remote controller. Start calibration. Out, in, oop, out, in, up, down, and then this little wheel is to control the gimbal. So it's calibrated. Go to gimbal calibration, start calibration, and then it calibrates the gimbal. I don't know if that shows up. The gimbal's moving all over the place. Changes, you can see it on the video. And I'm calibrated to take off. It's acquired 7 satellites at the moment. There are 26 satellites up in the sky, which it has to acquire before you can take off. So it's connected. It's got enough satellites. This is white. I can go to press this little arrow button, swipe right to take off, and it would start the motors if I slid this to the right, but I'll wait till I get outside. Don't want to do it inside.